Yo, what's going on Twitch? We're back. We're getting in another game of Wingspan. I don't have a lot of time right now. Got a dentist appointment in exactly 1 hour. So we're gonna try to finish a game as fast as I can, and then we might do another game when I get back. We're still getting set up a little bit here. We are going to be playing a little different. To speed things up, I'm not going to use the duet map. So we're still using all the expansion cards here. So we have just the regular end of round goals. We'll draw a card for Automa. So Food Web Expert is fine. 9% of cards. They'll keep that. What else? So we're putting 5 Spent Nectar in the Spent Nectar spot for Automa. We do have to adjust that at the end of the round, each round. We're going to put 3 cards out in the tray to start. So we have Corsican Nuthatch. This is a when played, draw 1 new bonus card, then gain a food from the bird feeder. We've got Large Billed Crow. And a migratory bird, the yellow breasted chat. Alright, I'm not going to do any explaining. We're just going to go right into it. I got to put this on round 1. We'll get 2 bonus cards here. Everything's shuffled. Alright, we have Mechanical Engineer, Ethologist. We'll get 5 bird cards. Okay, we have Lazuli Bunting. We have Red Wattle Lapwing. We've got Great Tit. Empanelli's Eagle, interesting. We did add the European expansion, so we're playing with all bird cards, every expansion for Wingspan, so it should be interesting. That is not all the cards. That's about half the cards in that stack there, and it's pretty tall. So, oh, we need one more. That's only 4 bird cards. Common Swift. Okay, round end, discard up to 5 worms from your supply for each tuck a card from the deck behind this bird. What do we do here? We definitely keep Benelli's. I like Ethologist. Really don't feel like planning out Mechanical Engineer. I know it's probably going to be more points, but let's go with Ethologist because we're on a time constraint. Red Wattled Lapwing, when activated, discard any number of cards from the tray, then refill it. If at least one discarded bird has a predatory power, lay an egg on this bird. Yikes. Lazuli Bunting's interesting. If we had another bull nest bird, I would think maybe we could keep it, but we might just take Corsican Nuthatch here or Great Tit to start. I sort of like Lazuli Bunting, maybe. Or Red Wattled Lapwing's interesting because we can discard the tray. Let's go with these 2. We start with a Nectar. Whoa. Okay. So what are we keeping right now? 3 birds. Do we need that Red Wattled Lapwing? Yeah, I mean, it's going to give us an extra egg. Lazuli Bunting, if we had another bull nest bird, I'd probably keep that. So we're going to discard 2 bird cards and a bonus card, so we get 2 food here. Oh, we didn't even look at the end of round goals. Big mistake there. Let's just pull them out randomly. So we are playing with all 4 expansions. And let's see, I have these in order, so I'm just going to shuffle them up. I'll do like piles of 4. Hold on, let me just mix these up a minute, and we're going to grab some at random. So this is all of the tiles, all of the round end tiles that, and they're double-sided as well. So let's just go with like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. And we're gonna try. I do have to stop around 12:30. So we just don't really have a lot of time today. So round 1, birds in the grasslands. Round 2 is going to be eggs in the wetlands. Those are 2 base game end of round goals. And then we have cubes on play a bird for round 4 and brown powers for round 3. So a European and an Oceania expansion round end goal. These are our 3 starting bird cards. And then we have Ethologist as our bonus card. So in any one habitat. Ties are friendly for that, so if we have a bird in each of these, we would just get 2 points. All right, fair enough. What 2 food do we want? Maybe we get that great tit down first. So let's take cherry worm. So we're starting with nectar cherry worm, and then our first action is going to be to play a bird, and we're going to drop this great tit in the forest. And that has a nice brown power, so when activated, reset the bird feeder. If you do, gain a food from the bird feeder after resetting. Okay, we're going to flip a card for Automa's first turn. They're going to take food from the bird feeder. So we did roll this. No rats, and then we have 2 fish. So those fish will come out. And we are back to the normal rules. So Automa will gain a cube towards birds in the grassland. Okay. Great tit, we had to spend all of our food. So we paid worm, cherry, nectar. And then for our second turn, I think we take food again. Or we take food for the first time. We can take this nectar, right? So we get 1 nectar. And then we will reset because these are the same face. And then for our second food, we're going to take that other nectar. So we've got 2 nectar. And then we will activate the great tit to reset the bird feeder. So we roll again. There's going to be a lot of re-rolling with this great tit. And then we gain a food after resetting. So a bunch of nectar here. We're getting 3 nectar. That's a good turn. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to discard the tray. So those 3 birds are gone. They're gaining a face-down card for 5 points. They're losing an action cube as well, which is really helpful. Put their cards over here. Got 3 new birds coming out in the tray. We have Gray Butcherbird. I do like that. Desert Finch. So lay an egg on this bird for each other bird in your grasslands. Not really the best bird. Gray Heron. No. Place this bird sideways so that it covers 2 wetland spaces. Pay the lower egg cost. So if we were to play that here, it would cost 1 egg. Here it would cost no eggs. I don't really like those birds. We do have 3 nectar right now. We could play Benelli's. We are just going to drop red-wattled lapwing into the wetlands. So this can go in wetlands or grasslands. We're going to spend 2 nectar to play it. And that's our third action. Let's flip a card for Automa. They're going to play a bird. So they did get a bonus card. It's Food Web Expert. None of the birds in the tray eat worms only. So they just get a face-down card for 5 points. We are playing with Audubon Society card here. Just as a extra note. Okay, so we need some bird cards. We have Benelli's, but Benelli's costs 3 cards to play, so let's draw some cards. First, I am looking at this Butcher Bird's a good grassland bird, so we'll take that. And then we'll take 1 off the top of the deck. And we get Blythe's Hornbill, so when played, discard all eggs from one of your birds with a box nest, cavity nest, I don't know what we call that. Tuck twice that many cards from the deck behind this bird. Interesting. All right, we're going to... No, we don't refill the tray. Oh, if we didn't take Gray Butcher Bird. So discard any number of cards from the tray, then refill it if at least one of the discarded birds was a predator. Lay an egg on this bird. So we're just going to discard and refill. We don't lay an egg. Okay, Blue Throat comes out. Red Kite comes out. and the common Mina. Okay, that's the end of our fourth action. We'll flip a card for Automa. They're laying an egg, gaining an action cube towards birds in the grasslands. All right. We have one nectar. I would like to get Gray Butcher Bird down in the grasslands, so let's get some more food. We're going to take 2 nectar here. Whoops. What did I just do? Yikes. We're resetting anyway. Let's take 2 nectar. Reset the bird feeder. That's a bit of a reach. Then we gain 1 after resetting, so let's get a 3rd nectar. So you can see how that great tit is just already producing. End of our 5th action. Let's flip a card for Automa. They're going to take food from the bird feeder, starting with rats. So there is 2 rats in the bird feeder. Let's get that out. And then we activate all pink powers. No pink powers here. So we're going to play our Gray Butcher Bird in the grasslands. Now we've got a bird in each habitat. All right, so 3 nectar is being spent in the grasslands. And to play any more birds, we need eggs. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to take food again. So Worm Wheat comes out. We have no pink powers. Moving on. We are going to draw cards probably here. And we will get an egg from discarding that red kite with the red wattled lapwing. I did miss that, but I wanted to play Gray Butcher Bird, so I'm glad I took it. Look, we're going to draw cards. So I do like Blue Throat for 7 points. Could be a really good grassland bird, or maybe wetlands. I don't know. So we get to draw 2 cards. Let's take this one and one off the top of the deck. And we end up getting Red Crowned Crane. That has a when played ability to score one of your bonus cards now by cashing any food from the supply on this bird for each point, and discard that bonus card and draw a new one. That's cool. You can cycle out some bonus cards. We are going to activate this red wattled lapwing, so discard any number of cards from the tray and refill it. Let's get rid of both of these, and this one is a predatory power, so we do lay an egg. Okay, we'll refill the tray for Automa's turn. See what comes out. We have Mistletoe Bird, Sri Lanka Frogmouth, European Bee Eater. Interesting. We're going to flip a card for Automa, and they're going to wipe the tray that just came out. Then they're going to gain a face down card for 5 points. And we can refill the tray and give them a cube towards the end of round goal. All right, Black-billed Magpie, Eastern Rosella, and Philippine Eagle. Philippine Eagle has failed me quite a bit recently, so we are going to skip that. We can discard it. That or the Black-billed Magpie for another egg here. And we do want cards, right? So, let's just do this. We should spend a nectar, though, right now. This is bad. I wasn't really paying attention to my nectar. We're going to lose a nectar, I think, for this. That's okay. It is what it is. We'll spend it anyway. No. We're not going to spend it, I don't think. Because we want to discard one of those for that extra egg. Maybe we just lay eggs and just lose the nectar this turn. Let's do that. We're going to lay 2 eggs. We'll put one on Great Tit. And let's put another one on Red Wattled Lapwing for the next end of round goal. And then we'll look at a card from the deck, and if its wingspan is less than 40 centimeters, 227. We get nothing. And that's our final action for round 1. Let me just real quick make sure this Automa cube situation is right. So they gained 1, lost 1. This is 1. They should be at 2. Okay, that's right. And then we'll flip a card. Final turn for Automa. They are going to lose a card here from the Royal Australasian Ornithologist Union card. Use this for Oceania expansion. But they're going to play a bird. So birds that only eat worms, there are none. They'll get a face down card for 5 and lose a cube, putting them at, let's see, a total of, we're going to check this card here and see what it says for round 1 from the base game. So for base game, birds in the wetlands, round 1, they start with none. That gives them 1. We both tie at 1. Okay. So we'll just stack these, I guess. And then we're going to adjust the spent nectar twice at the end of each round. So let's flip. Okay, nothing happens there. And then they'll lose 1 in the forest and gain 1 in the grasslands. Fair enough. Okay, round 2 is going to be eggs in the wetlands. They will start with 3. So moving right along here. Hopefully we can get this game finished. And then we will play a slower game when I get back. All right, we're going to flip this round tracker over to round 2. Shuffle up the Automa deck. We do have to remove 1 card that says remove after round 1 if it's in here. Maybe it's the one I just put down. Yep. Okay, we'll discard that. Shuffle this deck. We already flipped the round tracker. We're going to discard the tray, reset it, get our cubes back, and we take the first turn against the Automa. Always. Cubes. So we do lose a cube. We have 7 turns. We lose this nectar as well, unfortunately. That was a misplay. Probably should have just drawn cards too. Hindsight's 2020. Okay, refilling the tray. We have Wood Stork. It's a good bonus card bird. We have Great Crested Grebe and the Himalayan Monal. Do we gain food? Play Blue Throat in the grasslands. That seems like a good idea. So we're going to take this 1 nectar and then the tray will reset itself. Now we still get 1 food. Let's take the other nectar. So we're getting 2 nectar here. And then we reset again. I don't know why, like I always drop one of the dice and just throw it. It goes right into the bird feeder. So we get another food from resetting. So we'll take another nectar. That's 3 nectar, enough to play Blue Throat. So that's our first action there, gain food. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to play a bird. They are looking for birds that only eat worms. That's going to be rare. It's only 9% of cards. And we have every expansion mixed in. So they'll get a face down card for 5. And then this is the Audubon Society card I was talking about. Makes the game a little bit harder. As you can see, they play a bird in each round and gain a cube. So they'll gain that cube for eggs in the wetlands, putting them at 4 to our 3. So maybe we do play Blue Throat in the wetlands. We have decent food access, decent card access. I'm sort of thinking this will be better in the grasslands for, sorry. Forgot to switch the screen there. I am sort of thinking that this will be better in the grasslands in the long run for our endgame egg laying engine. We want to build this out, lay a bunch of eggs at the end of the game, so we kind of need the space too. To play Benelli's, we don't have to play Benelli's until the end. So, yeah. What do we do? Let's put this in the grasslands. So we're going to play a bird. We're going to play Blue Throat in the grasslands. So it costs 3 food. We're going to spend 3 nectars. The nectars are wild. And any spent nectar goes here. And now we're automatically competing for that spent nectar spot because we've spent 6 already. We'll take an egg from red wattled lapwing, or do we take it from great tit? Seems better. Because the end of round goal is eggs in the wetlands. So we've played a bird. Let's flip a card for Automa. They're going to be removing cherry, then wheat, then rat, then fish. So it is fish is going to be the first food that comes out. And instead of the pink powers, they'll gain another cube towards that end of round goal, putting them at 5 eggs in the wetlands. Okay. I do think Benelli's. I mean, it only gives us 1 egg in the wetland, but we really just don't need to play it yet. What does the Himalayan Monal do? All players gain a wheat from the supply. You also lay an egg. That is big. Could be really good. We won't get an egg here, but we're looking to get some eggs in the wetlands, right? We could just discard Ethologist for 2 points and get a new bonus card if we play Red Crown Crane. Let's lay eggs right now. No, let's take that Himalayan Monal. We're going to draw cards. We're going to take Himalayan Monal, and then we'll take one off the top of the deck. Okay, Gold Crest. Really interesting bird. When activated, discard a card from your hand. If you do play another bird in your forest, pay its normal food and egg cost. Wow. That could be really crazy. We're going to discard both of these, or actually just the one. We're going to discard Grebe. And we don't lay an egg because it was not a predator. Then we'll refill the tray. So long-tailed tit comes out along with Australian reed warbler. So we have some white powers here. That was our third action. We're going to flip a card for Automa. They're going to play another bird. So Australian reed warbler is something that they will gain face up because they are using the birds that only eat worms. So they'll get 2 points instead of the 5, which is good for us. And they'll also gain another cube towards the end of round goal, which is bad for us. And then we'll refill the tray. Okay, what do we do now? Yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to finish this game unless I speed things up. Maybe we just play Benelli's. Or take food. Play Benelli's. Play Himalayan Monal. Lay eggs. Yeah, no, if we take food. I guess we can take, excuse me, we can take a worm. And then re-roll. Take a nectar. Reset. Take another nectar. Flip for Automa. Wipe the tray. Face down card. And a cube? Come on. 4 cubes? This is crazy. They have 7 eggs in the wetlands. Alright. Common nighthawk is a food web expert bird. Green pheasant's good. All players lay an egg. 2 food web expert birds. So violet green swallow and common nighthawk. Either one would be fine for me. They both would go if they draw bird cards or play birds. We're going to go ahead and drop this Himalayan Monal in the grasslands. So this is going to go down. So it's going to spend 2 nectar here in the grasslands, an egg from red wattled lapwing, and the worm. So all of our resources almost. All right, we've played a bird. Let's flip. 2 eggs and another cube. You've got to be kidding me. They have 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs in the wetlands. 5 cubes on that. I've never seen that before. What else were they doing? Laying an egg. Okay. So we've got 2 actions left, round 2. Sort of thinking we just drop Benelli's Eagle and then lay eggs. So what we're going to do is take these 3 cards. Benelli's Eagles from the European expansion. I can zoom in on this a little bit so you can see. For each rat in this bird's food cost, you may pay with 1 card from your hand, so 3 cards. Tuck them under the card so they become tucked cards. Bam. So you don't have to pay any food. We played Benelli's in the wetlands for the final egg we have on red wattled lapwing. So we've played another bird there, and then we're flipping for Automa. And they're going to remove cherries, so cherries does count as nectar. We don't have any pink powers, so that's their full turn. And what we do next is lay eggs. Yikes, we can only lay 2 eggs here. We're going to put them in the wetlands. So let's go 1, 2. All players gain a wheat, so we'll give Automa a cash token for that wheat. We gain a wheat. And then we also lay an egg, so let's put that on Benelli's. Choose a food type from the supply. So we got a wheat. Let's take a worm. And then give Automa cash for the food. And then I'm going to keep all the cash tokens the same so I don't get confused here. And then we're going to look at a card from the deck, and if it's less than 40, it's not. It's 87. So Butcher Bird has been just straight up hosing us. All right. Removing food from the bird feeder for their last turn. That's fine. We're going to adjust spent nectar, and we absolutely got crushed here on end of round goal. They have 8, so we don't even need to count, really. They lose 1 in the grasslands, gain 1 in both wetlands and forests. So we do that. That's the spent nectar adjusted. They have won the end of round goal, so they'll get the 5 points, and we get 2 for qualifying. At least we have 3 eggs. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're on to round 3. Let's reset the tray, get our cubes back, shuffle the Automa deck. Moving on. We do get to keep this food, which is great. We're going to flip this round tracker over to round 3, take this round 2 card out from Automa's deck. Flip this over, reset the tray, shuffle the cards, yada yada. Whoops. Okay, these are shuffled. So we do take the first turn here. We have no bird cards. Let's see what comes out. Trumpet or Finch could be good. Scissortail Flycatcher for 8 points is big. And then we have a Ruff. All right, let's start by discarding an egg and drawing 3 cards here. We're going to take an egg off of Red Wattled Lapwing so that we can draw 3 cards. So we're going to take a card. We're going to take Scissortailed Flycatcher first, and then 2 from the deck. Great Catbird's interesting. And Moltoni's Warbler is also interesting. We can discard both of these, but we don't lay an egg. And then we reset the tray for Automa's turn. Oh, Willy Wagtail comes out. That is not... Willy Wagtail and Moltoni's Warbler could be an insane game, but we just don't have time for it, unfortunately. Superb Lyrebird is good, too. Copy a brown power on 1 bird in the player or in the forest of the player to your right. When playing with Automa, you'll copy from the tray. All right, playing birds, they do take Willy Wagtail for 2 points. I guess that's good. Good news. They also gain a cube towards the end of round goal, which is brown powers. Let's see what they start with. Round 3 brown powers, they start with 4, so that would put them at 5 right now. We'll put another card out. Forest Owlet comes out. So we want to get another forest bird. Maybe we can get a gray catbird up there. If we lay eggs and take nectar, then we can force down scissor-tailed flycatcher. That seems really good, I guess. Or do we just take food once? That's really pushing for Maltoni's Warbler then, because we are going to use all 4 actions here. Let's take a nectar and reroll to start. Take a second nectar. And then let's reset the feeder. And gain a nectar after resetting. Okay, that was big. Let's flip for Automa here. They're going to play a bird, so no birds in there are Food Web Expert. I know this one has Omnivore, so that doesn't count as Food Web. So they'll get a face down card and a cube on the end of round goal. They are really crushing the end of round goals. We have 5 brown powers right now. I think they start with 3, so they also have 5. Let's play Scissortail Flycatcher. So this is going to cost both of our eggs. It is 8 points. Goes in the grasslands. And then it costs 3 food. So let's use... Geez, Maltoni's Warbler, this could be such a good game. I may just pause it and come back. It is 12:21, so I do have to leave in 20 minutes. Yeah, we're just going to spend 3 nectar here. I may likely pause this game just because we picked up Maltoni's Warbler. And I don't want to really waste a game with Maltoni's Warbler. All right, that was our turn. We played a bird. So if we do one more action and get Maltoni's Warbler down, if we lay eggs and get Maltoni's Warbler down, we can play another bird at the end of the round. And you can use nectar for these teal powers, which is really good. They're going to remove food starting with cherry, then fish. So fish comes out. That's their turn. What do we do next? We lay eggs, right? So we're going to lay 3. Doesn't really matter where they go at this point. We'll get a worm from the supply. Give Automa cash because they get a worm as well. And then they'll get another cash and we'll get a wheat. And then we'll lay an egg. Let's put that down. Let's put it over here. Then we'll gain a nectar from the supply. And give them a cash token. And then we'll look at a card from the deck and see if it's less than 40. 68. Wow. Butcher Bird is just butchering this game. Alright. Automa is going to discard the tray. Gain a face down card for 5 points. We'll refill the tray. Common Raven comes out. Along with Purple Heron. Red-necked Avocet. Jeez. You just had to, didn't you? Oh, what do we do? We play Maltoni's Warbler, and we draw cards. Maltoni's Warbler, no, because then if we take Raven, we can't play Raven, right? What a shame. Do we play Maltoni's Warbler here? I don't know. We really don't even have time to think about it. Let's do it. We're gonna get to play a bird though. That's the problem. So maybe we just gain food then. All we have is gray catbird is the problem. We could play this bird then gain food, but I put catbird in the forest for ethologist and 5, 6, 7 points minus an egg. Let's do this. Cost 2 eggs. We will spend a nectar worm. And we've played Maltoni's Warbler, and we've done all 4 actions. Okay, let's flip. They're going to gain a cube towards the end of round goal, so they have, what, 6 brown powers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's tying us already. They discard the tray. So Raven's gone. They gain a face-down card for 5. We refill the tray. Asian Coal comes out. Another predatory power Eurasian Sparrowhawk. And a red-bellied woodpecker. Okay, we've got 1 action left. I think we take food here. Or we could do red-bellied woodpecker would be interesting. I think we take food so we can play great catbird at the end of the round. So can we force this down? We have a worm and 1 cherry. So we get 2 food. I guess we just take 2 worms. And then we reset the feeder. And we gain another food after resetting. Look at that. No nectar. Let's just take a fish. We're going to overpay here. That concludes round 3. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to wipe the tray. I'm not going to refill till the end of, or for the next round. So then they'll gain a face down card and lose a cube, putting them at 5. So we do win the end of round goal, which is great because we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to overpay for this. We do have to spend an egg, and we have to overpay. So we're going to pay a worm. We're going to do 2 wheat, and then worm fish. So we really overpaid for that. Yikes. That ended up costing us 5 food, but we do win the end of round goal, so that's good news. We get the 6 points. And we are moving on to round 4. Let's adjust the spent nectar for the round. Okay, they gain 1 in the wetlands. I'm actually out of nectar, so what do? Just give them a cherry. Don't take it from there. So they gain 1 in the wetlands. Get our cubes back, refill the tray, and we do round 4, and we're just about out of time. So we have great blue heron. We have common loon. We have snow bunting. Very good bird. All right, taking out the round 3 card from Automa's deck, flipping the round tracker to round 4. And we can start. So we used our Maltoni's Warbler there, which has a round end ability, so that comes before discarding spent nectar, which is really interesting. You can use that nectar to play a bird at the end of the round if you don't want to lose your nectar. So that's why we have 1 more round where we'll get to play an extra bird from Maltoni's Warbler as long as we take food, lay eggs, draw bird cards, and play a bird. So want to make sure we only have 5 actions. We're doing 1 of each. So I think we start off by drawing bird cards, discarding that egg from the Great Tit. What are we really looking for? We have 4 points from Ethologist right now because this is our lowest habitat, or birds with... What is it? Oh, this is Ethologist. Not ecologist, sorry. I've been reading that wrong all game, but we're still doing all right. So per power color, we have white, brown, and teal. So it's 6 points. Actually better than ecologist. Um, I do get those mixed up. What to do? Do we draw bird cards first? Wow, my ears are ringing like really bad. Not sure what that's about. Let's draw bird cards, discard an egg so we get 3. I do like snow bunting for now that we know we have ethologist. It's another bird color. We would have white, pink, brown, and teal, giving us 8 points for ethologist. So let's discard the egg so we get 3 bird cards. We will take snow bunting. Do we want that common loon, actually? It is 6 points for 2 food. Boost out that wetlands. Let's go ahead and take it. And then we'll take one off the top of the deck. We could have taken great blue heron. I don't know why I didn't. Let's discard this and say we did. Okay, a little bit of cheating there, and then we'll discard any number of cards from the tray. We're not going to do that because there's none left. All right, greater flamingo, bit of a meme. Blue-winged warbler, and we do have a predatory power there with black-shouldered kite, but we can't really draw cards anymore. We're going to have to lay eggs, take food, play bird, and maybe we can put snow bunting down so we could do a double play and then have another bird here. Let's flip a card for Automa real quick. They're going to lay 3 eggs and gain a cube. Cubes on play a bird for round 4. Just need to know what they start with. They're going to start with none in round 4, which is kind of crazy. So they've played 1 bird. We're only going to get 1, so let's lay eggs here. We lay 4. And let's just spread them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll gain a worm. Give Automa a cash for Automa's Horde. We'll give them another cash and we gain a wheat. We also lay an egg, so let's put an egg. And then we'll gain a nectar. We don't have any more nectar, which is crazy. Let's just use a fish here to take this nectar back. Sorry. They get another cash though, right, for that. So we're giving them 3 caches from our grasslands, and then we'll look at a card from the deck. It is less than 40. It gets tucked, and we cash. Big points. Tuck and a cash there on Butcherbird finally. Second action, Automa will remove food, and then we can activate pink powers, which we don't have. So they are getting rats, which is nice because I do want to take food here. They're going to remove those 3 rats. I don't know why I'm holding this extra egg. So we've drawn bird cards. Let's do the last action of gaining food, and we can start off by re-rolling. And we're going to right away take 2 nectar. I got to do something about this nectar. I keep running out of it while streaming. So we've got our food. We're not going to discard because we know we need to do that. Playing a bird stuff with Maltoni's Warbler at the end of the game. We're going to repeat a brown power on another bird in this habitat. So we're going to reset the feeder now and gain a nectar. And then we're going to do it again because we have gray catbird. So we're getting another nectar there. Yikes. I hope I'm doing this right. I really need to get more nectar going there. All right, that was our third action. Let's flip for Automa. Only 2 left. They're going to discard the tray, gain a face down card for 5. We'll refill. We have Shrike Thrush, Rock Thrush, Sparrow. So we've got to play a bird. I say we do Great Blue Heron into Common Loon and then Snow Bunting at the end. Or Great Blue Heron into Snow Bunting. Great Blue Heron into Snow Bunting, then Common Loon. So let's do that. We're going to play a bird here. All right, Great Blue Heron, 2 nectar in the wetlands. 1 egg. Into Snow Bunting, we pay worm wheat and 2 eggs. Or do we just do worm nectar? No, let's just do... we do 2 nectar, right? Because then we only need 1 nectar for Common Loon. And we're going to lay eggs anyway, so... yeah, we do 2 nectar in the wetlands there. Yeah, so that was a nice double play. We got a pink power down for Ethologist. Let's flip for Automa. They're going to play a bird, so no Food Web Expert birds out. They will lose an action cube, which is very good. So now they're down to none. If they get 0 points for this end of round goal, it could be big. Last action, we lay eggs, right? So we can play we can use Moltoni's Warbler to play Common Loon. Perfect use of resources here, hopefully. We lay 4 eggs. We could just skip this stuff to not give Automa cash tokens. We are going to skip that. This we won't skip because we get an egg. This we will skip. This we won't skip. Less than 40, no. Okay, we gave them a cash. And we laid an egg from that. And we were supposed to get a wheat as well. And then we'll flip for the Automa's final turn. They're laying 3 eggs and getting that cube back. So they have 1 bird on, or 1 cube on play a bird, which actually ties us. That kind of sucks. But we do get to do this. If you use all 4 types of actions this round. So we did play a bird, but I took the cube from there. Play another bird, pay its normal food and egg cost. So we're going to play Common Loon down here in the wetlands for 6. We're going to spend Nectar Worm. And 2 eggs. We'll just spend Nectar for Automa. Looks like they're gaining 2. Yikes. This is pretty rough, actually. Safe to say that we just lost the spent Nectar in the forest. I'm not even going to mess with that. Although it is close in the wetlands. They gained 1 in the wetlands. Sorry, I'm using other tokens here because I'm on a bit of a time crunch. So they gain 1 here. They gain 2 in the grasslands. And then they gain 1 in the forest as well. All right, that's the spent nectar adjusted. That's it. That's the whole game. I don't think I can square it up. I guess I can square it up. Let's just see. No, I think I'll score it up later when I get back. So